This is our 15th Strategic Deterrence Symposium, and I think it's the one that's probably the most important. And the reason is the realities of what we're facing in the geopolitical environment. You've heard me say many times, if you've ever heard any speech that I've ever given, the reality is this is the first time since having a nuclear weapon that we're facing two near peers in regards to my position as a commander of STRATCOM and what we're facing in the West.
So you mentioned two near-peer adversaries, and we've been hearing that warnings about that for several years now. What I was wondering is, how does the nuclear arsenal need to be reshaped? How is it different in terms of the arsenal itself, deterring two near-peer adversaries as opposed to one?
Yeah, that's a great question. So as we modernize all three legs of the nuclear triad today, it's based off of geopolitical environment of 2010, right? And then we started to begin the modernization programs in about the 2016 timeframe. You've heard a lot of people talk about, I think the program of record is something that we have to achieve. Whether or not that program of record will be sufficient is something that we're still doing an analysis on. So what do I mean by that? I have a legacy system today with the three legs of the triad that is a sustained system that is efficient, it's safe, it's credible, but it is old. And we need to modernize those three legs of the triad. As we build out the posture and sizing to understand what does it mean to, I don't think it's a strategy change, I think it might be an implementation change on how do you then size the force to continue to ensure that I can meet the objectives of the President of the United States in being able to hold adversaries at risk if that's a requirement that we need to do. So that's where we're looking at now as far as ensuring that I continue to have the capacity and capability with the systems that I currently have that are legacy systems, and ensure that the modernization and that transition from legacy systems to modernized systems, that those modernized systems can still meet the objectives of the President of the United States.
And just one quick follow-up related. So this morning, there was a subtle difference in the way you presented it. You talked about a two-peer plus. And was that just a semantical difference, or is there a substantive difference in that, and how does that change the calculus?
Yeah, I think the plus, and you've heard us and we've introduced that, the plus is now we need to understand what is happening when we have two near peers that are also having relationships with third-party influencers. And what I mean by that is, let's just take the Russian Federation and their relationship that they're now having with DPRK when it comes to munitions purchases that they're doing for the Ukraine fight. You know, what is happening in the relationship between the Russian Federation as well as Iran? What is happening with the relationship between PRC and the Russian Federation? Those are the things that add that plus, if you will, to what we're talking about as far as the two-peer conversations that you heard this morning.